Hey, CHS. I have some more new arrivals in that I wanted to go over with you, and hopefully, we're going to have some more next week. Some really good stuff. We're going to start with a couple of nonfiction selections that we got in. This one is called The Boys in the Boat, the true story of an American team's epic journey to win the gold at the 1936 Olympics. So, this is actually an account of that team, and it's written for young adults, based on The Boys in the Boat, uh, New York Times bestseller. So I think that will be an interesting addition to our collection. And there are lots of photographs that go along and document this historical event. Another nonfiction book that it's adapted from a New York Times bestselling book, The Guns at Last Light by Rick Atkinson. So this one is written just for young adults, and it's about the Battle of the Bulge. So if you are a history buff, this is details when the Allies forces launched the long Battle of the Bulge that lasted more than a month during World War II, and one of the greatest American battles of the war that ended in American victory. So this would be a retelling of that would be easy for you to understand, and from a New York Times bestselling author. So that's a good one. Okay, and here we have by Carol Lynch Williams. This is called Messenger. And this one is a fiction book about a girl whose gift is to talk to the dead. And she really just wants that gift to go away. And there's one girl that keeps appearing in her life over and over. And so then the mystery is what is going on, and what does this girl want, and how can she help her? So that looks interesting. Here we have Hold Tight, Don't Let Go. This is a novel of the earthquake in Haiti. So it's a fiction account of a girl who is caught in the earthquake in Haiti, and she loses her home, her aunt, her plans for school, and it's her survival story, and living in a camp, and friendship, and it's a love letter to a torn country. It reads here, in tribute to the connections that are destroyed by disaster and the connections that are formed in a disaster's wake. So if you want to know more about that event in a fiction way, this book is available. Hold Tight, Don't Let Go. And then we have a book called The Trouble in Me by Jack Gantos. He's a famous author, has written lots of books. Best-selling author, The Hole in My Life. And this is loosely based on his life as a youth. And so he moves to a new town. He meets a kid that just got out of juvie for stealing cars. He's mesmerized, and he wants to be just like this kid. And so the front of the cover is a gas can, and the inside are matches. So you can imagine some of the trouble that these two get into. And it says here that it's a deeply personal novel that captures the ways in which young Jack Gantos first began to slide off track, and which culminated in him being locked up in federal prison for the crimes that he discusses in his other book, The Hole in My Life. So this one, we might learn something from his story. And then we have this one called Win. It's a nice cover, and this is by Victoria Laurie. And this is a story about a girl who can see people's death date on their forehead when she looks at them. And so her people pay for her to give them their death date. And what ends up happening is she sees a death date on a young boy, and he comes up missing on that date. And then others come up missing. And so it turns into a homicide investigation. And because she's the one that predicted those dates, she's pulled into the middle of it. So this one is kind of reminds me of the other book. We have a few books in our collection where the characters can read death dates on their forehead. One is Numbers. That's a whole series. So if you liked that book, you will probably like this one. If you like this one, then you'll have to go back and get the book Numbers. This is called The Leaving. And it says 6 were taken, 5 came back. This kind of reminded me of, I think the series was by Margaret Peterson Haddix, and the Found series, where the kids disappeared and they end up coming back. And that's what this one sounds a lot like. 11 years ago, 6 kindergartners were missing without a trace. After all of that time, the people left behind moved on, or tried to, until today. Today, 5 of those kids return. They're 16 and they are fine. So the one who doesn't return, no one remembers, and his sister, who was his little sister but now is older, wants answers. So she wants to know why her brother didn't return. So that looks like a nice suspenseful book. This is called The Assassin's Game. I'm just going to read a little bit. It's called Tag You're It. It's 4 a.m. When they come for me, I'm already awake, strung out on the fear that they will come and the fear that they won't. When I finally hear the click of the latch on the dormitory door, I have only a second to brace myself before. And so this is a game where at a boarding school they're playing games that get all too real with killing. Here we have a sequel to our award book this year by Lynn Matson called Nil, and this is Nil Unlocked. So if you read that, that's one I've read eight or nine of the award books. I have not read Nil. So if you have and you've been waiting for the sequel, it's available. We also have Blood and Salt. Just the cover of this book makes me want to read it. And this is by Kim Liggett, or Liggett, I'm not sure how you say that. And this, it begins, and I think this must have to do with cults. These are the last words Ash Larkin hears before her mother returns to the spiritual commune she escaped long ago. But when Ash follows her to Quivira, Kansas, something sinister and ancient waits among the rustling corn stalks of this village lost to time. So that one, we have some similar books like this that I've enjoyed and have been suspenseful in the library. So you might enjoy that. And then we have a Sarah Deason novel, Saint Anything. We have lots of her books. She's a favorite author. Her books in our collection. So if you want her newest edition by the New York Times bestselling author Sarah Deason, we have it. And then this is a replacement copy. I didn't realize until the movie came out and students started asking Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. That copy had been lost, and I just got the replacement in. Of course, the movie's already been out. My youngest daughter went to see it, and she really liked it, and she also read the book. I think she preferred the book over the movie. But if you've been waiting for that, it's also available. We have several other new arrivals back here that I'm not even going to go over today, and lots of new ones that are still being processed. So expect another video next week. Lots of good fiction things going on here in the library. So I hope you guys will stop by and check out some of these new arrivals. Have a great day.